Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
And with us today, we got no one.
No,
Nope.
it's just us. So
Nope.
if you don't like it, stuff, you're still going to have to tune in.
Yes. Well, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can turn it off if you want to,
No,
but who would
you
want
have
to turn it off?
You have to. There is no excuse not to tune in. We demand that you stay and listen to us.
Okay. Well, fair enough. See, James has demanded that you sit
Yes.
there and you listen now, regardless of whether you enjoy this or not.
Yes. I've become very harsh, clearly. Harsh.
You have. Very brutal. Very brutal.
I blame Julie for this, so she's taught me to be more brutal.
I think that's the case, yeah. Because, yeah, obviously we're coming off the back of a live show, which quite a few of the Salty Tadpoles joined in and watched us. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see a few familiar faces, well, not faces, but names popping up in the chat. Andy Barr being one of them, of course. Who's Andy?
The king of, well, I now know him as the king of IT.
Yes, our tech support, Andy. And then also you had a fantastic interview as well that dropped this weekend.
I did a wonderful interview with Julie T. Wallace, which is pretty apt considering she's a former Bond girl. And we have today, it is the release of the new Bond film, No Time to Die. Or the premiere. Yeah, the release.
Ooh.
So it all worked well.
Ah, fantastic. So when is that out in cinema then? Or is it out in cinema?
It will be out from tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, the premiere is tonight. But as far as I'm aware, it will be from tomorrow onwards. But definitely from Thursday onwards. But I'm sure it's from tomorrow onwards.
Well, there you go, James. You're good at timing. But also, yeah, we've only had to wait, 2 years for this film?
A year or two, something like that. You would think with the knowledge I have on Bond, I could give you exact dates, but I think it's probably been, actually might have been, was it in last November it was supposed to come out? Or, yeah, I think it was last November.
Yeah.
I think it was due to come out, and then obviously COVID got in the way, and understandably they kept they kept aiming for different dates. I think we were going to have it at one point in April it was going to be coming out. Then it got shifted back again. To me, it's always a bit strange not to have a Bond film coming out in November. I've kind of, programmed myself to expect it as a Christmas movie that's going to be coming out. But hey, if it works and people are happy with it, which I'm pretty sure they will be, I'm sure they'll get a nice response.
Yeah, I think we will, because obviously it's been long awaited and very sort of anticipated sort of thing, isn't it? So,
and it is Craggy's last one, so
yeah, Craggy. Yeah, see, I don't really know much about Bond, to be honest, because I don't think I've actually watched any of them in full. So I think I've watched bits and pieces of them, but no, I don't think I've ever fully sat down and watched them all. So
basically it has to be osmosis through me.
Yes.
I'll be the one who educates you, basically. I'll see how many more interviews I can pull together and see where we go, whether we can get anybody else who's involved with the Bond stuff, because it'd be interesting to see what some people had to say.
Yeah, definitely. Well, James, if there's a will, there's a way, and James finds the way.
I always try, and I am rather envious of the people I know who are actually at the Bond premiere this evening. I would have liked to have been able to join them, but it would appear that the tickets sold out in less than 5 minutes. But I do know a few people who are going, so, I hope they have a good time, and fingers crossed that they enjoy themselves, and it's I think it'll just be a very interesting experience anyway, so.
Yeah, although, James, I know you're saying that you hope that they enjoy themselves, but you're secretly thinking, I really hope that they don't enjoy themselves because they're lucky bastards who actually got the tickets.
There may be a smidgen. It's being wrong with squidgen. A small part of me that is very, very envious and wants them to not enjoy it, but I also recognise that, things are not always so easy, so I've got to just I've got to lie and say that I'm feeling no schadenfreude at all, and I wish them all success.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm
Have
glad.
fun, Warren. And AJ.
I was going to say, I feel much better about myself now that I know that you're lying right now, so...
I couldn't comment. You may say that I couldn't possibly comment, but no. I do know definitely that AJ and Warren are going. I think Gareth's going as well, so yeah, just have a nice time, guys, and enjoy yourself. And David is definitely going, so enjoy yourself.
Okay, well, who are these people?
Warren Ivanchi, that's Warren Ringham. Gareth Owen is Roger Moore's, or was Roger Moore's manager. And David Zwiski, whose surname I've just really butchered, sorry David, does a thing about Bond lifestyle, the Bond lifestyle. And who else is going? AJ Chowdhury is going, I think, who wrote a wonderful book called Some Kind of Hero, all about James Bond, who I've had a chat with in the past. So yeah, fingers crossed for them all.
Ah, okay, because the way you said it on a first name basis, I just thought you meant that they were like your friends down the block, not actually people that are actually important,
Well, I do know them, but I appreciate what you mean, that,
Yeah. They're not just Joe Blogs down the block,
No.
No. Okay, well, let's move on from James Bond because I really have got nothing to input on this conversation. But, nonetheless, I've let you speak for about 7 minutes about it, so it's all good.
It's eating up the time. It's all good. It's all good.
Yes, exactly. It's time that I could have just been having a little nap there.
Well, you didn't go comatose. That's always a positive sign. I didn't just say this. When you were nearly there. I could sense that you were just like, I was losing you. But I pulled you back in. Now, to quote The Godfather, just when I think I'm getting out, they pull me back in.
See, shamefully, that's another film that I haven't watched, but actually I probably will sit down and watch them. So, yeah. But, on a plus side, I'm really lucky because I've got these films now to watch as a new viewer. So I get to see them fresh for the first time. So I'll do it one day.
That's the spirit.
Thank you. And obviously, like I touched upon, we did do the live stream on Saturday last week. And that was really good fun. It was me, you, and Joanne. And yeah, we did very, very well. We didn't swear once. We did everything but swear, but
Twas a little innuendo laden, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah. And it was amazing because our friend Squee, Dr. Squee, who has got a podcast by the same name, so the Dr. Squee Show, and he did a absolutely fantastic job, and he did 24 hours of podcasting, and he completed it. And I was there sort of watching the last few minutes as well. I didn't watch all of it because, well, I like to sleep, and he chose to be awake all that time, not me. But he also raised £600 for Phoenix Rehoming, which was
very good.
Yeah, which was the charity that obviously he was raising money for. But also a massive thank you to all of the Salty Tadpoles who A, donated, and B, shared any of the information for me, or for us, sorry. Or us, also for, or ass. I swear I just said ass by accident.
Keep digging, Gemma, keep digging.
Well, digging in my ass, I hope not. But no.
Shocking.
I know.
Filthy. So innuendo laden. We've not even got Joanne here.
You know, I was the original person with the innuendo,
Yes.
right?
Definitely. And I think with Joanne, she just magnified it.
Yes, yes, she did. She definitely is a perfect member of the team. And so anyway, back to my point, as I was trying to say when I was just, fishing around in my ass then. But so the Salty Tadpoles, the big thank you to everybody who donated, also everybody who shared the posts and helped us promote it, and if you were there watching us live as well, because a lot of people knew that I was actually quite nervous before doing it because I don't like being on camera, but it was good. I had a lot of fun, and I'd say sort of from my calculations that the Salty Tadpoles raised about just over £100
Very good.
towards that
Very,
600.
very good.
Yeah, which I thought is, as a group, that's amazing. So, big round of applause, but as always, gentle round of applause from me, because otherwise the beast from the dog will howl and bark and stuff. But yeah,
So basically, you're living with the Hound of the Baskervilles.
that's where I was trying to go with that. Basically, yes, thank you.
I mean, I would say also, Gemma, when you were saying about feeling a bit sort of nervous about doing the thing and being on camera, wasn't at all obvious, went very well. I was very impressed by the way you were doing things. It also helps that you have a complete camera and a podcast hall like myself there, who... Even if you felt bad, was like, yeah. Come on, let's do it.
No, absolutely. And to be honest, if I'd have had to have done that on my own, I would have done it because I wanted to support my friend. But at the same time, it was a massive help having you and Joanne there. Because, you were obviously inputting and stuff like that. So it wasn't all on my shoulders. I was just trying to get it back to the topic of what we were actually meant to be talking about.
I also like the fact that we did get to see the skinned hamster, otherwise known as your microphone, the muff.
Yeah, the muff that led to another story about a muff. But there you go. We hopefully will have the audio for this episode. So we're going to make sort of suggestions about what happened. But hopefully Dr. Squee's going to give me the audio for that. And so we can release it as an episode. So then you'll know what we're talking about.
Brilliant. And I don't think we traumatised Sophie Aldred too much. Just slightly.
Yeah, just slightly.
I mean, to be fair, she did. This is a lady who has experienced the terror of spending 4 hours sat with me. So I honestly don't think we can scare her too much.
No, I don't think so. But, also, that's on Dr. Squee for planning a celebrity after us, isn't it, really? He knows our show.
How very true.
Yes, I think we did fantastically well. So, I'm really proud of us and proud of myself for, not chickening out or anything like that. So, I know it's a bit self-absorbed to sort of be proud of myself, but I am. So there you go.
It's all good. It's all good. What was it Trevor and Simon used to say? Give yourself a pat on the back? Was that their thing?
I think so.
I think they used to say that, didn't they? I just had a flashback to school and we used to say that, give yourself a pat on the back, and I'm sure it was from them. So,
Yeah, that kind of rings a bell from me as well. So, there you go. But I have to do a gentle pat on the back because I have bad back at the moment.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was also going to say the dog suddenly started howling.
No, he's fine. He's fine. He's just a bit miserable at the moment because my computer is telling me it's raining now, which is ironic, but it's not raining. It is something like if we had hurricanes in this country, it is ridiculously raining.
That sounds like Monday. Here on Monday, it was incredibly heavy downpour. Now, it stopped in the evening, and I could go for a walk, but it's been a bit odd today. It's rained all day. It's not been as heavy, but yesterday was... Oh, I hear a dog.
Yeah.
Yesterday was something to be... So, raining cats and dogs. Yesterday was something to behold here, which is what I'm assuming you've probably got today.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? That it seems to take a day for the weather to sort of come down my way, if you know what I mean.
Well, we've supposedly got nice weather tomorrow, so you will probably get it on what, Thursday? So,
Oh, well, that'd be nice.
Excellent. Power
Yes.
through. It'll be fine. But most important question, Gemma, is how's the back?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was yesterday or on Sunday. I don't know. It was just I suffer with sciatica and I've got scoliosis as well, so my back's always curved anyway. But yeah, it just was a horrible pain. I was like literally walking like I was, well, if anyone had measured me, I was probably about 5'5" because, like I was doubled over in pain.
Good.
And
Been
walking
there, done that.
Yeah, I don't know. It might it's probably just as simple as sneezing sometimes, But yeah, I felt like I was the oldest person in the house because of the back pain, you know what I mean? And my mum's 70-something, so...
No, not fun. I remember once when my neck seized up, properly sort of locked up, and it took me a while to sort it out. I had to get my Swedish massage done just to resolve it, Thank you, Dean. But the problem I had is that... I love the obvious, when I got asked the question by Dean, well, what did you do to do your neck in? I'm like, no, I was just stood in the shower, soaping my chest, and my neck suddenly went. I was like, oh God. I
mean, I shouldn't laugh, but it is quite funny now that it's,
It is. It's what scares me more is this is me now. What on earth is old age going to do to me?
I know. Well, maybe by then, they'll be able to sort of add new backs to people, new, bones.
Or it'll just end up like, one of these dystopian societies where they just like have a queue of people with ailments and gone. Gone.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd like that world. And like if you wanted to give up smoking or if you got a drug addiction or alcohol or whatever, yeah, you could just have like this one injection that takes all of that away. So you don't have to go through it all,
There's a distinct difference between Salty Tadpoles listening will understand. I suspect there's a distinct difference between what I meant and what Gemma, with her kind, lovely thoughts, went with. She went with that. When I said dystopian future, I was talking about like a machine where they line up all the people with ailments and as in the person's gone,
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was thinking like like this incredible drug thing. Like a gun type thing, but that you can inject into somebody and make and cure them.
See, you were not thinking dystopian. You were thinking nice Disney-fied future.
Yes.
I was thinking dark, horrible, scary future.
Well, I was thinking dystopian, but I was just thinking the nice version of it. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mary Poppins future.
Yeah, definitely. Always look on the bright side of life. Doo-doo.
Yeah, you do know that's when they were killing Brian, don't you, in the film?
Yeah, I know. I do. I have seen that one, don't worry. But yeah, so, I mean, that's taken us on a nice little whirlwind. We've covered the weather, my back pain, previous events, but I think more importantly, James, how's your week been?
Well, it's not been too bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I mean, I can't get fuel anywhere, but thankfully I'm not in desperate need of fuel. It's the weather's been a bit of a bugger, but I genuinely try and stay a bit chipper on things. But what I would just say, in fact, we'll segue into Codswallop for me just slightly, is the fact that it isn't a major problem for me on the issue, touch wood, at the moment of fuel. But I would say the sad thing about these mad people trying to buy up all the fuel is that it's going to create a problem for the people who really need it. Because when I turned up on Sunday on the off chance just to see if I could get fuel, the thing that amused me the most is it was a queue of old people queuing to get fuel.
Yeah.
But they were queuing on the exit ramp. So all this is going to do is cause an accident at some point. It's not going to...
Well, I don't know because obviously, well, I'm not a panic. Let's put it this way: I wasn't panic buying yesterday when I went to the petrol station. I was panicking while buying, because I literally had to drive to the petrol station and went past about 2 that were closed and didn't know if I was actually going to get to the third one. It was actually really nerve-wracking, to be honest. I was really, really nervous about it, but I did get there, so that was good. And I did get the petrol, but I was literally driving on fumes. And but when I got there was kind of a couple of guys that were one was on the roadside, so as you turn into the junction sort of thing, and then the other one was actually at the like near the petrol station, so they're only like 100 feet away from each other, so it wasn't massive difference. But when they were sort of directing us, I think, the older guy, who was the guy that was nearer the petrol station, he was kind of almost looking to see how much petrol people have got, as in who needs to actually get the petrol desperately compared to who actually doesn't, which I thought was good because, he must have seen, firstly, the look of worry on my face, and also the fact that my car was flashing saying, please fill me up, please. Oh. But yeah, they did organise it very, very well. But yeah, there was one chap there who I'll let him off because he must have been very stressed. But at the same time, it was like, he goes, well, like sort of said to me when the traffic light turns green, go into the space sort of thing. So, and again, this is why I'm started talking now, because they were directing us to the sort of exit part of the petrol station. Couldn't think what the word was then. So those old people might have actually been directed there, is what I was trying to get at. Very
well. It's possible. I think it's unlikely because there was nobody else there. It was just them. They'd created a line of doddery old people in little 1 litre vehicles, probably panic buying. Well, they were panic buying, but probably with no real need to fill up either.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me on this, and I will just use the non-swear word, of the people who are complete funts doing this, are the people who don't need it, who are filling up the incorrect sort of jerry can things, or just filling up jerry cans, creating a problem. The big worrying things for the people who really do need it, but also creating a problem for like the emergency services who can't get fuel. So, we'll go with one positive that I have loved that I've seen posted up, which there's somebody filling up one of these jerry cans to put in the car. Someone had taken a picture of them, I think, on the phone or maybe on the dash cam or whatever, and they then put the person's license plate through the through the government website, DVLA stuff. They're not taxed. They've been reported for not having tax. That I love. I love it, and I hope they get absolutely battered for doing that. Not physically battered, because I'm not going with all the violence people are doing and these knife-pulling nutters down south. All I would say is, it is down south. It was in London. All I'd say is, I really hope that the weight of the law goes for this person who didn't tax the vehicle.
Yes. Yeah, that is definitely a form of karma. But yeah, with regards to the panic buyers with the petrol people, I also imagine that they were the toilet paper people as well.
Although I do wish I had shares in a petroleum company right now.
Yes. yeah, definitely.
The prices are going up.
Although actually, because I went to Morrison's, other petrol stations are available, but yeah, the one that I went to...
They're not here because the other one's shut.
Oh, okay. Well...
Because it's closed. Because it hasn't got any fuel at all.
Okay, well, the one that I went to yesterday, who also might have run out of fuel, they ran out of diesel, but luckily I'm a petrol car, so, yay me. But... yes, it's God, I've lost the train of thought again. But no, it was basically James, what did I say before?
Well, we were talking about my comment was about, I'm sure you can edit this out, my comment was about the fact that you would want to have shares in a petroleum company. But you also were saying that you suspected the people who were doing all this petrol stuff, the same sort of people who were hoarding toilet paper.
Yeah, I've lost it. I've lost track
It's all
of what
right.
I was
Don't
going
worry
but
about
never
it.
mind.
You were also saying that the Morrisons or other places are available, and it's interesting that the situation I had is what you mentioned, which is diesel's gone. So there's also been a lot of people filling up diesel vehicles.
Yeah, but then you've also got the electric cars, haven't you, at the moment, going,
I still hate you all, you eco tree hugging weirdos.
Yeah. However,
No, don't, because I have family members who've got an electric car. I love them, really. Or do I?
We're going to go and key them all.
Well, actually, Gemma does not speak for me. Spate of key and I'm getting arrested. I mean, I haven't done anything. Get in the back of the van, liar.
Well, I'm sure that never would happen with us at all. No, I'd never key a car. Not, that's obviously, that is jokes, Mr. Police Officer. Yes. I would never, ever do it in person. But,
Gonna send your avatar.
Also, I wanted to just quickly touch upon the fact that on the live stream, you had a codswallop, which I believe was a bee flying over your head.
It was a spider.
A spider
that had dared to crawl through my hair.
And I was just wondering why that was a codswallop, actually.
Because it annoyed the hell out of me and slightly freaked me out when I looked out the corner of my eye and saw this spider going down. I was like, get off. So I had to take it in my hand and put it onto the offending windowsill area so it could walk off and do whatever it needed to do.
Oh, but that might have been a money spider, James.
I haven't, to my knowledge, won the lottery yet, so I don't think it was a money spider.
Well, did you spin it? Did you spin it around your head twice?
This must be some strange little thing from your neck of the woods, because I've never heard of that one before.
Oh, see, I have. So, yeah, obviously that must be a local thing, or maybe it's just something I made up. Could possibly be.
I mean, you asked why did I choose it as my codswallop, because at that point in time it had happened to me that just like half an hour beforehand, or an hour beforehand, and I was like, oh heck, what have I got that's annoyed me a bit of late? That'll do.
Yeah, because I think just the conversation kind of drifted off into somewhere else, but I was going to say, why did you choose that, James? So I wanted to ask you today.
It's all right. The way I look at it is, I've got to work with what I've got, and that was the best thing I had at that point in time. kept flowing well, so it was okay.
It did. Indeed.
Indeed. And I'm going to ask Jim, have you got any codswallop this week? Other than the bad back, the buggered up petrol stuff,
and the weather,
and the dog barking.
No, I'd never. Well, actually, no, I'd never with regards to the dog. But we had a bit of a fight with the postman the other day, who basically, because as you know, Mr. Socks has got a bit of a bark about him, and he came. Well, I had hold of him when the door was open.
The dog, not the postman.
Yeah.
Wrestling the postman to the ground.
Well, this postman's a bit of a tosspot anyway. But, and I think the dog can sense that. And he also might have a fear of dogs. But I asked the question,
possible.
Why would you be a postman if that's the case? Because if you've got like a real bad phobia of dogs, I don't understand why anyone would want to be a postman. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to come in contact with dogs. But anyway, personal choice, whatever. So anyway, this guy came out and he goes, oh, it's the same guy as I think I mentioned before. And he said that he was going to put him on the dangerous dog list. And he was saying,
I believe there is something like that for properties, where they've got concerns.
Yeah, and he isn't a dangerous dog. He's just curious. But unfortunately, because he's big, he looks like he's a dangerous dog because he sort of runs that way, if runs up to people or whatever. But and he's also barking at the same time, so he's not helping himself, and we do kind of understand. But
Not really.
What do you mean?
He's not really helping himself.
No, he's not. He's not helping himself at all. But we've got him a collar now so that we can at least hold him back if he tries to do that in the future. But because he didn't have a collar before, so it was hard to kind of hold him, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, so this postman's sort of like shouting and raving and going at my mum, and I get all defensive. So I'm in the house, but I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, go and tell them then. Go and report him. I don't fucking care anymore. My mum slammed the door. So
Don't think you've done yourself any favours at all, any of you there.
Well, to be fair, the postman did come back and apologise because he was actually being quite obnoxious. So, it was,
Right.
And he was also being obnoxious to my mum. So I got on the defensive, you know what I mean? Nobody can speak to my mum like that. I can, but nobody else can. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say, I bet you could really give 10 to the dozen to her, but nobody else.
Yeah, exactly. She's my blood, or I'm her blood, whatever. But yeah, so we do understand where the postman's coming from, and we do want to stop Socks doing what he's doing, kind of thing. But at the same time, it's hard. He's a dog, you know what I mean?
Can you get him a muzzle?
He doesn't need one.
But to stop the barking and things, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess you don't know when the posties going to come. They don't come in a allotted time, really, anymore, do they? So
No, but I think it's actually our doorbell, because our doorbell is quite abrupt. Like, it is quite a musical, loud one. And, like, if anybody puts anything through the door, so just posts it through the door, he doesn't react. But it's when
it
people
must be the doorbell, yeah.
Yeah. So I just keep saying to Mum, please change the doorbell, and then let's see if that works. Just change it to a ding dong. But yeah, so like I said, we're not at fault. I know, he needs to be sorted, but we are trying. We are trying to do it. But it's at the same time, this guy had a bee in his bonnet, and he was kind of, like I said, he was attacking my mum. So
Clearly, we're having overspill from our Saturday live dog-related podcast.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, and I feel like putting up a sign saying, "Don't worry about the dog, just be aware of the owners."
The dog is not as scary as the owners.
Yeah, exactly. We're quite feisty. So, yeah, I mean, that's not really a codswallop, but it was just something I needed to get off my chest. So I suppose it is a codswallop in that way, but,
Okay.
That's it.
Large swathes of mail will no longer be delivered to your house, but hey,
Well, the other thing that I was sort of trying to say to the postman, but on a different time, was when you have got those parcels, but they are signed for or whatever, because of COVID times, we can't actually sign for anything at the moment, can we? So he could hear, he rang the doorbell, obviously the dog reacted, we were sort of not shouting at the dog, but we were trying to tell the dog to be quiet and sit and whatnot. So being firm with the dog, let's say.
Bad dog.
I know, right? So he's a naughty dog, but he's not dangerous. No. But anyway, he's so at that point, the postman could have just put the parcel down, knew that we were there, because obviously he could hear us through the door, and walked off, and then it would have been fine, But instead, he just stayed there. So I'm sort of saying to I'm thinking next time I see the postman, sort of saying, look, can you just, if we get any parcels, can you leave them at the door? If you hear that we're there, please just leave them, and then we haven't got this incident, have we?
If it's doable, it may, yeah.
Yeah, because
maybe he can do that.
Yeah, because we don't need to. At the moment, we physically can't sign for things because we can't, because of COVID and whatnot. We can't touch things, like touch his, I was going to say his instrument.
Stylus. stylus. I'll keep it clean. The filth levels of this podcast is disgusting. I'm shocked and horrified. Shocked and horrified. You never get this. It was just me. Honest. My mind was like, fresh as the untouched snow until I joined this podcast. The filth. Ooh.
As fresh as the morning dew.
Yes.
A bit damp.
This is where we need Joanne. Just for that line.
We don't need her for that line. I've just said it.
I know, but it's because you'd want another female's reaction to it.
No, it's all good. I know that they're listening and they're giggling away, so it's all good. So that's my kind of last couple of weeks really, because there's not masses been going on, but yeah. So I was going to say, has there been anything that you've been watching at all recently?
What have I? Oh, I've been watching the American crime story about the Monica Lewinsky-Bill Clinton affair. That's been quite interesting.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else I've watched, to be honest. I've watched, the Goldbergs is back on, so I've been watching that. And I seem to have now become addicted to, I've been watching also my Miami Vice stuff that I got, but I've been getting very addicted to 30 Rock. The comedy thing with Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's if you've had a bad day, I would say get and watch that, because it will make you laugh. If you had a testing day, that will definitely make you feel better and laugh and happier.
Oh, that's cool. I might give it a go then, because at the moment I'm watching, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called Sex Education on Netflix.
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
Oh, okay, because that is really funny. Basically, the third series has come out, but it's been a while since I've seen them, so I was sort of backtracking and just watching series 1 and series 2 again. So, yeah, I'm halfway through series 2, so it really doesn't take long. Yeah, so basically it's this high school guy who's, he's kind of like a nobody in a way, but a popular-ish girl. So she's popular in the sense that she's kind of a badass kind of girl. She and him kind of team up, and then they give sex advice to sort of all of the high school children. And he's also a high school child, so it's coming from their own age group kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it is funny just watching all the different like scenarios and stuff like that they all get into. The last one that I just watched, there's a girl who every time she's with her boyfriend in that way, she puts a pillow over his face when she's
trying to kill him.
No, but it's more because she says, I've got an ugly cum face.
I would personally say she'd be better saying just close your eyes.
But
she kills him, and can you imagine trying to explain that one?
Yeah, exactly. But also the mum in this program is Gillian Anderson as well.
That's how I knew about it, because I'd heard that Gillian Anderson was in it. Yeah. So I might have told you about it as well before, I think, maybe, but yeah. So yeah, I just highly recommend that as a good watch. And if you've got Netflix, and that's worth it. So the other thing I'd say, if anyone gets a chance to see, it's the new season of Doom Patrol's back. Doom Patrol's come back, third season. That's been good, enjoyable stuff so far. Weird, but good. This will shock you to the core, Gemma, but it's actually a DC property. I mean, you'd never normally catch me ever watching or mentioning DC properties at all, would you?
What's it about though?
It's not something I never ever really knew about until the show started, but it's about, like, if you imagine a group of misfit heroes, just do a complete mess, but somehow managed to pull it together. That's pretty much them. It's got like April Bowlby's in it, Timothy Dalton's in it, Brendan Fraser's in it. It's just a really, it's very hard to explain because it's the most bizarre thing ever. Matt Bomer's in it. if you get a chance to see it, just imagine people who should not work as superheroes because they're so messed up and screwed up, and it's definitely not for kids because there's a lot of swearing and other mad sex stuff in it. But by God, it's both good and incredibly funny. And the other thing I've watched that I don't know if you will have seen it yet, but I think you were interested in seeing it, is the What If series, the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I've watched the first 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I need to crack on with that, to be honest.
Yes.
But yeah, I do enjoy them. I didn't like the Captain Carter one.
No, I didn't. A lot of people didn't. They just, I even heard them saying on Tom Steve Dave, it was like, and?
Yeah.
It's
the same storyline, female, okay, yeah, they could, I can see what they're trying to do is they're trying to, make her a badass female, character kind of thing, but
they could have done it. They could have given her more to do in it. It was just like they literally took the normal Captain America thing and mixed it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to Doom Control, that kind of sounded a bit like Misfits. Have you ever seen Misfits?
I haven't watched Misfits.
Misfits is amazing. That's a British program, and it's so it's all these teenagers that they're doing community service, and then there's like this freak storm, and they all get struck by lightning, and then they all get superpowers, and it's very similar in sounding.
It does sound a bit similar, yeah. Yeah, it does sound a bit similar.
I think DC's ripped this off, to be honest.
I don't know how long has Misfits been about, because Doom Patrol, I think, has been around quite a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to Google it, but I can't be asked right this second. But yeah, so I know that it's finished now, but it's kind of like it went to it was many years ago that it started. Mm-hmm. So,
because Doom Patrol came from a comic, but it's until the show came about, it's not something I was ever aware of. But it's just so weird and.
Oh well, in that case, maybe Misfits copied that then.
It's possible. All I'd say is there's room for everyone.
Yes, exactly. So, but I do like Misfits, so that's another thing.
The only people that aren't room for are cyclists and people who drive electric cars. I have my reasons.
And old age pensioners who get petrol because they don't need it.
Yes, but I have my reasons.
Yeah.
I need to say no more.
Exactly. The other thing that I've been watching, which is very, very cheesy, but it's become very, very addictive in our house, is Married at First Sight, which is something I wouldn't normally watch at all. Because I don't like those kind of reality TV kind of programs. However, we watched the first episode, and I don't know if you've ever seen something like the program 4 in a Bed, but that you kind of like, you have to watch all 4 episodes to find out what the outcome is. But it's a bit like that, it's very addictive, but it's basically...
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
What's that, 4 in the Bed?
I've heard of both of these.
Okay. So basically, Married at First Sight is that... it's kind of self-explanatory, really, but it's so husband and wife, they've never met each other until they get to the aisle. They get married, and then it's kind of like following their journey to see if the experts have actually matched them with good people or not. And then obviously they get the opportunity to kind of leave the program if they don't think that they're a good match or whatever. But yeah, like I said, it's just so addictive. It's kind of like watching these people kind of, seeing if they're actually going to work or not, And
I was just thinking when you mentioned it, that's not a recipe for disaster, is it?
No, not at all. But it is, and it's kind of obvious at one point that I think, because there's been 6 series of this, but we've kind of watching the current one, so we're not going to go back and watch other ones. But this one is, I'd say that there's definitely been a couple of mismatches for entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And you feel a bit sorry for the people, really, but at the same time, get your popcorn out because it's really fun.
I think I remember reading something where they were saying that some of the people who end up on this Married at First Sight, there are people who've already been on other reality TV shows, so there are people who are just basically searching for fame.
Yeah.
They're not going on for the for the wish of meeting a new partner. They just want fame. Because isn't there something in America called 90 Day Fiance as well?
Yeah,
It's probably a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that is the case. Yeah, because I watch Catfish, so you get a lot of adverts for those kind of programs. I'm addicted to Catfish. I'm not even going to be shamefully embarrassed about that. I love it. I just love the reveal part when it's all doom and gloom. I'm evil.
So if I watch 30 Rock to feel happier, if I want to become depressed, I could just put this stuff on.
Well, no, not really, because if you watch Catfish, because I'm evil, so I love it. You know, basically, I could watch just 5 minutes of the program, which is the 5 minutes that the person who's being catfished is introduced to the person who's actually catfishing them, and just seeing their reaction. You know, after 3 years of talking to somebody talking to somebody who looks like I don't know. someone really hot, and then they're really not.
You've got to wonder though, how do people get away with it? Because I'm aware. I've not seen it, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've learnt most about it listening to Tom Steve Day, where they've been talking about it. But you've got to wonder how, in the age we're in now, where people will see things, that people are getting away with it. But I mean, I understand it. They put up false pictures, don't they? And things like that, and then come out with strange reasons why they can't see people.
Yeah, and they can't do video calls because they've got an old phone or the camera's broken or whatever. Yeah, so I mean, it's quite good. As a single person, it sort of gives you the good red flags that if you're searching the sort of dating sites and whatnot, you can kind of know what to look out for. But yeah.
And the only other problem you face is that it could create a bunch of almost supervillains, couldn't it? Who are making notes on how to absolutely screw people over.
Well, yeah, that is the case. So, but I think you're going to get that in life anyway, aren't you? So,
true.
So why not?
True.
Yeah. So I'm bringing a bit of the cheesy TV this week, apart from the first one that I mentioned, which is obviously Sex Education. So, which is that's funny. It's really, really funny. So
cool.
Yeah. So James, how do you feel about moving on to some stories of the week?
Why not? I'll let you go first. Can you guess why? Because I haven't yet got one. Give me 1 second. Story of the week. Can you hear me typing?
I can, yes.
It's a lie. It's a lie. You can't really hear me typing at all. It's all in your head.
All of this is staying in, James.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. Love it.
I love to sort of show, I'm going to keep in the fact that I couldn't think about what I was actually talking about about 20 minutes ago, but also, the fact that you're very unplanned.
It's all good. Oh, God, I think I found the one I'm going to go with.
Okay, which one are you going to go with, just so that I don't...
Bernie Sanders' Halloween outfit.
Okay, well, brilliant, because I've got 3 stories.
Okay.
Which, you know what, I'm going to cover all 3 of them. So, yes, I haven't got that one as one of them, so that's good. So I'll go with the first one. And, okay, so this one is, I thought that you would appreciate this because it's from the Yorkshire Towns. And it's Bricklayer, let me start that bit again. Bricklayer solves mystery of the Castleford croc running wild in his garden. So there's a picture. Somebody's taken over the top of somebody's fence of a crocodile.
I've seen this picture, yeah.
Yeah. That looks like my garden, Nigel thought, as he woke to the news that a crocodile was on the run in his Yorkshire town. By the way, is Castleford near you or not really?
I don't believe so. It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. And so that might be South Yorkshire then instead. You're just Googling how far away it is from you now, aren't you?
It's West Yorkshire. Yeah, so it's not. I'm north.
Bloody hell, how big is Yorkshire?
Reasonably large.
Yeah, well, it seems like that way. And the story carries on, and he was right. His neighbour, Sarah, had gone to the press with a grainy image of the mysterious beast, now dubbed the Castleford Croc. The nurse took the picture of the 4-foot reptile in Nigel's garden before going to bed, shattered from her late night shift at the hospital. When it disappeared a few hours later, she assumed it must have been real. It also fitted with another sighting of a similar-sized crocodile at a nearby nature reserve in last May. Sorry about all the banging, by the way. It's dinner time here, so that's why everyone's banging away in the kitchen.
I'm awaiting the doggy. Keep going.
No, dog will be fine because he doesn't react unless I knock. But the good people of Castleford can rest easy once again. The mystery has been solved. It's just a plastic toy crocodile, Nigel told the Metro.
Yeah, I kind of worked that out. That was my guess when I first even saw the picture.
Yeah. So he's there's a couple of pictures of him with I'd assume it's about a 2-year-old. And holding the crocodile as you know, like obviously it being a toy. But to be fair, it does look fairly real. He's continued with, I left it in the garden to scare off the neighbour's cat from my back garden. Ooh.
Bet it didn't work. Bet the cat didn't care.
No, but it ended up scaring the neighbour. The bricklayer said he thought he brought the croc in Florida for his son back in 2000, and it's a treasured toy that's been passed down to his 1-year-old grandson. Oh, okay, so it's not 2-year-old, it's a 1-year-old. That shows you how much I know about kids. Nigel, 58, admitted the whole family has been in hysterics at the story, adding, it certainly got out of hand. He said, I'll be honest, I don't think I've even spoken to Sarah yet. I don't know why Sarah's in brackets, so that's a little bit weird. She never came over and said, oh, there's a crocodile in your back garden. But she was working through the night, so when she came home, the crocodile must have been sitting in the grass. When I came home from work, I picked it up and put it in the shed. She probably thought it must have been real when it disappeared. The end.
It's so hilarious, my sides nearly split.
Well, I did think it was quite a comical story.
But it's just that comment of, it's been hilarious. Everything's so effy. I've noticed it's always like, you know, when in articles, it's either hilarious or, you know,
or
it's
not.
never that hilarious.
Yeah. Did you want me to go on to another story, or did you want to read yours?
No, let's hear your second one. I'm intrigued.
Okay, I'll leave the third one till last, so I'll let you do your story and then I'll follow up with mine. And I'm ever so sorry for the continuous banging that I might actually have to go out and say, could you keep it down a little bit? Because it's doing my head in. Anyway, nun caught dancing with skeleton next to graveyard is the headline. There are some things you never expect to see, and one of them is a nun cavorting with a skeleton beside a graveyard. But
this is true.
Yes, exactly. This is almost a Halloween one.
Well, we're nearly in October.
We are. Yeah, well, actually, when this episode comes out, it will be October, so that's good. But that's exactly the site that merged outside of an old Hull General Cemetery on Saterdarey.
Saterdarey. Gemma done fucked up that word.
Gemma's really tired this week, can anyone tell?
And she's got a sore back. Be kind to her, salty tadpoles. Think positive thoughts for her.
But, Saterdarey. So that's our new word. A woman dressed as a nun was pictured dancing with a prop human skeleton before playing with another that looked like a dog. One baffled witness said, literally, she was stood at the cemetery on Springbank West opposite the turnoff for this school anyway, and she was dancing with a skeleton. I think the Metro is really short for stories because they keep referencing the fact that she was dancing with skeleton, but we didn't need that.
Have they said it's hilarious yet?
Not yet. It was clearly attracting a lot of attention from people stopping to watch nearby and people in their cars looking. Reports from the scene indicate someone was filming the bizarre incident just before 12 p.m. This could suggest it was part of a stunt or an art project, although the remains unknown. Mm-hmm. The whole general cemetery has been out of use for almost half a century. So then why has anyone bothered? It became one of Hull's most historical sites after closing in 1972. People often visit to see notable graves, including memorial for the victims of the 1849 cholera epidemic. And it's the Metro. What do you think
ground to a halt. It's given us absolutely no indication of anything.
Yeah, but
are we even sure this really happened? The Metro weren't just having a really, really slow news day.
Well, there are pictures. So, it does look like it could possibly be real. I don't think it's a real nun.
Right. I would hope not.
Yeah. But, even if it was, who can tell her not to have a good old laugh, eh?
That's true.
Okay, so do you want to go on to your story now, James?
Yes, because it is a bit Halloween related. I would just say this is slightly creepy, but not for scary, ghosty reasons. So they have created and this is probably the company Yandy.
Yep.
They've created the sexy Bernie Sanders outfit for Halloween. Ooh, how sexy. So it's listed as it could be the scariest Halloween costume of the year. Racy take on Bernie Sanders' now infamous outfit from Joe Biden's inauguration. Which was basically, if you've seen it, it's him with mittens on and a warm coat.
He appeared outside your house as well, didn't he?
He did. He appeared outside a lot of places. That was thanks to Ian. Thank you, Ian. So it says, according to the costume's description, the look is meant for you to be a viral internet meme. The political chairman costume comes with a grey coat, cosy mittens and a face mask for a total Insta-worthy moment. The idea behind the costume came from the image of an 8-year-old Vermont senator's outfit at the event in January. The e-girl site Dolls Kill, so it's not Yandy, the e-girl site Dolls Kill is hoping their version, dubbed the Tricks and Treats, once again asking costume set, will have a similar impact for its wearers. Judging by early opinions on Twitter, it probably will. They've said, why did they make Bernie as hot? Who the hell wrote this? Why did they make Bernie as a hot got e-girl costume and wheezing one posted? In other words, less impressed, writing, it doesn't even come with a chair. This is simply a coat. And this article appeared on Sky News. It's almost as shittily written as a Metro article. And the idea of this being some sexy thing is just, it's a massive WTF.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, James, we don't have to not swear right now, but yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I am a little bit shocked that it didn't come with a chair, because that was like the biggest piece about the meme, wasn't it? So
yeah. So basically, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's my response to that.
So you get all of this outfit, but then you have to go out and buy a chair.
To be fair, I'd be more interested in seeing the nun dancing with the skeleton.
Well, you know what? For Halloween, we know what we're getting you for this year anyway.
Yeah, and to be fair, if it is the nun dancing with the skeleton, I could at least go and visit my old university.
No, I meant the Bernie Sanders.
I recognise that. I was just trying to ignore that terrifying idea of me wearing mittens sat on a stool.
I don't know. I think you'd look very, very fetching.
Yeah, woo, spooky, isn't it?
Okay, so final story of the week. And I've picked this one because it just seems like the most ridiculous story in all of the week, really. Mm-hmm. So you know how people love pets? Pets, yep. So
critters.
Yep. So you got your dogs, your cats, your bunnies. You got your fluffy ones. You got the reptile ones as well. So people like snakes, spiders, whatever. Goldfish. How much do you love a goldfish, James?
Well, I've had a few as pets in my time when I was a child. I guess you can form some sort of attachment to them to a degree. But you can't exactly cuddle them. No,
you can't. And when they got poorly, they pretty much got flushed, right?
I can't remember how I got rid of them, but yeah, I know what you're saying. That you don't have a massive emotional outpouring of grief.
No, exactly. So this story is Goldfish has £300 surgery to have a mass removed from its mouth.
Okay, someone's got a real love for the goldfish and quite a bit of money.
Yes, exactly. To most of us, a goldfish was something we won at a fairground that lasted a couple of weeks and gave us a lesson in death and life. It does say life and death, but, I switched it.
Mine thankfully lasted longer than that, but go on.
Yeah, but it is still true. It kind of does give you the lessons of, things do die. But 17-year-old Bluebell is so loved that her owner has just forked out £300 for surgery on its mouth. Bluebell for a fish, by the way. But there you go, Bluebell. It's a lovely looking fish, but still, it's a fish. And I know as Talking Codswallop podcast, we should represent everything that is fish related, but he is just a fish. Vet Hannah Jessup said Bluebell is hand-fed by its owners and will come to the surface for a back rub. She fell ill and had something growing in her mouth that needed taking out. Hannah said Bluebell had developed a few lumps over the years that we were monitoring. The owners then noticed a mass growing out of her mouth that started to affect her eating, so we decided it was best to intervene as it was impacting the fish's quality of life. But, obviously a fish lives within 2 seconds, doesn't it? So, it goes around the bowl. 2 seconds later, it goes around the bowl. So there we go. We booked Bluebell in for the surgery to have the lump removed. This is the second time I have been involved in a surgery for a fish, but it was the first time that I was commander of the procedure. From putting a fish to sleep to Bluebell waking up in recovery, it took 1 hour. However, the procedure to remove the mass took about 20 minutes. Bluebell was quickly taken home and back in its water very soon after the operation and is now healthier than she has been in months. Do we need to carry on with this story?
I know I'll get battered for this. Fish battered.
Yeah.
But I would just say, if I was a vet, I'd be like, really? You're going to pay me 300 quid to just try and save this wee little fishy? I mean, fair enough. Seems like money for old rope, really. Although it will probably be quite a little, intricate little thing working on them. But
Yeah.
I guess if the fish means a lot to something, it is the pet. We could draw the line and say, why would you spend money saving a dog or a cat, something like that. So I don't want to be too much of a git on this, really. It must mean something to them.
Well, I suppose if they have got, and I suppose if they have had it for 13 years, it is quite an old fish.
Yeah.
So I think it was 13 years. Hold on.
The fish could be thinking, I just want to die. I've had enough.
17 years. Sorry,
Wow.
17-year-old fish.
That's impressive.
It is
That is
actually quite impressive. Yeah. And did you know as well that goldfish can grow up to whatever size their goldfish bowl is?
They can get very big, because I know when my dad was young, he had a goldfish and he had it for years and years and years. They'd won when he was a little kid at the fair, and he just survived for ages. Got pretty big as well. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because I heard a story about there being one that was in a lake or something, and it actually grew like quite huge.
Sure, there isn't a koi carp or something.
No, I think it was actually a goldfish.
Well,
But so basically, the fish is alive. Woohoo! And it's doing well. It's eating much better than it has done in
Excellent.
months. So, yay for Bluebell.
yeah, I feel that we started out mocking Bluebell, feeling bad about the whole thing. The whole thing was a bit daft, but as we are talking Codswallop, the fish podcast. We have to support Bluebell, so yay, Bluebell.
We do. We almost should make Bluebell our sponsor of the week.
Our mascot.
Our
yes.
mascot, sorry, yes.
Our mascot. I mean, to be fair, they got 300 quid they're going to spend on the fish. They could also sponsor us.
Yeah. All right, where's these people's details? What are their names? I'll do some investigation. So, well, in that case then, James, I personally think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. What do you think?
I am inclined to agree.
I agree as well. And I hope I haven't been too doom and gloom. I think I've been fairly upbeat, but I have been quite tired this week, so I do apologise that my brain's been all over the place. But
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, as always, I've been Gemma.
I am still James, and
Yeah.
I'm charging £2.50 a minute now, not £1.50 for my recordings.
Oh, okay. I get them for free though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. So, thank you for listening, Salty Tadpoles. We've been Salty Tadpoles. Oh, Christ. We've been
Oh,
Talking
Gemma,
Codswallop.
I think you need sleep.
I do. We've been the Talking Codswallop podcast. You know where to find us. Tell all your friends about us, because we really could do with your support. And also, James, tell Lyndon to tell all of his friends who have listened to the pranked episode to
Yes.
actually, subscribe.
And we're going to try and get Lyndon on as well.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes, that'll be good. So, okay. Well, we kind of finished the episode now. So, everyone, bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.